Hi, this is Dr. Mervin. In this video, we are going to learn about sample size. Whenever a statistical analysis is done, defending the sample size is a nightmare because of lack of understanding of the basics in sample size calculation. This video is all about making the sample selection simplified so that a novice can make the calculations. So let's start with some basic definitions. Population. We define population as the entire group about which we want results. Usually, it is so huge we cannot collect data of the entire population and hence we go for a sample. Sample. It is defined as the part of population that we study so that we can apply the same conclusions we arrive at for our sample for the entire population. Now, in order for the sample to be representative of the population, we employ certain methods in collecting the sample, and these are called as the sampling methods. The sampling method is the way the sample elements are selected from the population. Probability sample is the one that we use often, wherein each element has a probability of being selected. Simple random sampling. Every sample member has an equal probability of being selected. Advantages are it is easy to carry out. Higher precision and lower cost may be achieved. Next, for the sample size calculation, we need to know whether the problem is an estimation or a hypothesis test. Estimation problem gives an estimate of a mean or proportion from the sample to a population parameter. While a hypothesis test is used to check whether a assumption about a population is true or not. So, what are the factors affecting the sample size? First and foremost is the cost consideration, that is, the maximum budget that is available to us and the desire to minimize the cost of our research. The next one is administrative concern, that is, the complexity of the design of our research problem and the research deadlines that we have to meet. The next one is the minimum acceptable level of precision. Next, the confidence level. Next, the amount of variability within the population or a subpopulation of interest. For example, the stratum, the cluster, and so on. Next, the sampling method. What are the inputs that are needed for sample size calculation for a simple random sample? The first one is margin of error, ME, or the measure of precision. The second one is alpha. For a hypothesis test, alpha is the significance level. For an estimation problem, alpha is 1 minus confidence level. The third factor is critical standard score, Z. For an estimation problem or for a two-tailed hypothesis test, the critical standard score is the value for which the cumulative probability is 1 minus alpha by 2. For a one-tailed hypothesis test, the critical standard score is the value for which the cumulative probability is 1 minus alpha. If the population size is very large relative to the sample size, that is more than 20 times larger than the sample size, then we need not mention the size of the population. Otherwise, we need to specify the size of the population. It is represented by capital N. The next one that we need is the variance of the population, which is denoted by sigma squared. So depending on the sample statistic and the population size, we give the sample size formula. If the sample statistics is mean and the population size is known, then we use this formula. If the sample statistic is mean and the population size is unknown, then we use the second formula. If the sample statistics is proportion and the population size is known, then we use this third formula. If the sample statistics is proportion and the population size is unknown, then we use this last fourth formula. There are some pitfalls in this, so let's see some of the insights into these formulas. These formulas work when the sample size is relatively large, greater than or equal to 30. Use the first or third formulas when the population size is known. When the population size is large but unknown, use the second or fourth formula. For proportions, the sample size requirements vary based on the value of the proportion. If you are sure of the proportion value, then the right value to use will be to set the p-value equal to 0.5. This tends to produce a conservative sample size estimate. The sample size that is obtained will produce at least the precision called for and sometimes may produce better precision also. This is an easy and elegant way of calculating the sample size. I hope I made this easy for you. Please like this video and subscribe too. Thank you.